You know how long I've been waiting for this? The Marvel Rivals global release is coming soon in the first week of December, with the latest 3 characters being Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and the recently revealed Psylocke. Given that there are still about 2 months before the game officially releases, there is still plenty of time for new characters to be revealed. Among these on my new wish list is Remy LeBeau, the Gambit. With his mutant powers and card slinging tricks, there is no shortage of potential for this Duelist kit. Let's get started. As always, we start with the basic attacks. This is pretty straightforward for me with the Gambit's card throwing, making it the perfect short to medium range based attack. The big key here, it would be that the damage fall off over long range would be drastic, meaning that the long range card throws would deal minimal damage to opponents, while short range attacks would be the most optimal. For a bonus, since the cards are explosive, if it strikes an opponent, a short timer would start, about half a second to be exact, and then once this goes off, the card explodes, dealing an area of effect damage to other players, with the struck player receiving most of the damage. Like we saw in Deadpool and Wolverine, the explosion of the card isn't too crazy like a grenade, but enough to inflict others in close proximity. For Gambit's kit, I would have 3 abilities in mind. To start off, we have the Staff Slam. As we saw in Deadpool and Wolverine and even X-Men 97, Gambit can supercharge his bow staff with his explosive powers, enhancing its strength. What I would like to see is an offensive ability that lets Gambit channel that power into a kinetically charged ground slam that causes that explosive energy to dangerously flow in a short burst in one direction. Now, this wouldn't need to be a one-shot kill, but would deal a decent amount of damage to any opponent caught in its range. Like some other melee characters in the game, you would need to pair this ability with others to be the most effective and eliminate opponents the fastest. Now, don't get me wrong, this still leaves plenty of opportunity for good and high-quality uses in objective-based game modes. The second ability that I have in mind would be more utility and team-based. This is an immediate call to one of my favorite team-ups in that X-Men 97 series, where we saw Gambit infuse his purple powers into Wolverine's claws. With Wolverine not in Marvel Rivals yet, this would be more of an area of effect boost for teammates to increase their DPS by a certain percentage, consistent with other utility characters in the game. For example, Luna's Snow Ultimate boosts teammates' damage by a significant amount. Since this is a passive ability that is used more frequently than an ultimate, Gambit would be able to slightly increase the damage output for nearby teammates, but not to an overpowering extent like Luna Snow's ult. However, if everyone on Gambit's team focused on the same enemy, say a tank like Venom, the heightened damage would be obvious, causing the other team to be much more cautious when trying to push. And for the third and final ability, I call this the Dealer. Instead of being able to throw just one card as a standard range attack, this ability would allow for a series of cards to be thrown in quick succession. Similar to how Gambit summoned a handful of cards ready to explode, we would see this ability in action. Where this has a skill curve is not just the player's accuracy, but also their target selection. Players would have the choice to have all cards thrown at a single target, maximizing damage against Vanguard characters or spreading the cards out against Duelist and support characters. Now, I will note that a successful chain of attacks against a support character with this ability would deal about 90% of a full health bar, meaning if you catch Rocket Raccoon with any damage, you will most likely eliminate him with a perfect usage of this ability. Now, the ultimate ability. We need something to truly justify the power of Gambit. What I have in mind is similar to Spider-Man's ultimate, where he deals massive damage and stuns all enemies in a nearby area. Something similar happens for Gambit, but with a little bit of aimbot. Upon activation, Gambit begins supercharging a bunch of playing cards. All enemies close to Gambit are then targeted, with Gambit throwing 4 to 6 charge cards per enemy. Then once all of the cards find a target, they all explode simultaneously, dealing massive amounts of damage, where Gambit can then quickly clean up any survivors with his rechargeable abilities. Now onto the final part of Gambit's kit, the team-ups. This is entirely based on characters I've observed and played during the closed beta that can benefit from Gambit's unique mutant powers. There are 2 characters that I have in mind where the team-up activation is the same, Magneto and Punisher. When teamed up with Magneto, the metallic projectiles Magneto launches become explosive, dealing a small area of effect splash damage upon impact. Similarly, Punisher's machine gun has enhanced bullets that deal increased damage as a result of them exploding on impact. Where this makes some difference is with the destructive environment in Marvel Rivals. As Punisher shoots the enhanced bullets, not only is his damage increased, but he is also able to shoot through and destroy walls much more quickly and more effectively. And that wraps up my vision if Gambit were to be introduced in Marvel Rivals. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and if there's a specific character you want me to do next. I've read your comments from my previous videos of this series with other character suggestions and have them planned to be featured in this series eventually, so please don't think that I'm ignoring them. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below, And if you want to see my kit vision for Wolverine, then check out this video here.